Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and let's get into this lackluster season finale. The finale is lackluster, the season been lackluster, Robyn's lies are lackluster. It's just a mess. I'm over it. Let's get into it and get on through it. Before we do, of course, I got to shout out and give a huge thank you to everybody who came through and showed love on my birthday. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate y'all. Of course, I got to shout out all my super thanksers and cash appers. LLT Reed, Melanie Blanks, Tech Mama, Miss Winnie Mangum on Cash App. Shout out to Celia, Dee, Paris, Sabrina, Bernadette, Lorenzo, and Latisa. Thank y'all so much. Y'all made my entire day. Shout out to all the creators who came through, to Jeremy Speaks TV, Scotty by Nature TV, the True T, and anybody else whose name I'm not remembering. Please charge it to my drink and not my heart, okay? Yeah, because I don't know what possessed me to get on this internet and drink champagne live with y'all, knowing I can't handle champagne in real life like that. Girl, about. Anyway, let's get into it. So, of course, because this is the season finale, they're wrapping up all the storylines. So this episode opens up with Ashley going to lunch with her baby Dean, who does not want to be bothered with her. He is having an absolute fit, and after she made her announcement, I understood why. Ashley takes herself, whatever cold she got, and her baby to this restaurant to announce that she bought a house. She and Michael have purchased the house together in the name of this LLC that she cannot afford alone. Apparently, the mortgage is somewhere around $13,000 a month. What? One thing Ashley will do is play her damn self. Like, why would you set yourself up in a $13,000 a month mortgage that you cannot afford by yourself? Probably can barely afford with Michael. Why would you do that? Ashley is telling the producers she don't know exactly how this house is getting paid for. As far as she knows, she and Michael are 50-50 owners because they're still married. But the understanding is that the home only belongs to Ashley. Girl, Ashley enjoys being a victim. Why would you let your entire future rest on this man's financial decisions? What Ashley should have been doing is looking for a home that she can afford based on her income. And whatever Michael provides as support would be additional and would allow her room to do whatever she needs to do for herself and her children. But to put yourself in the predicament where you are in a house and a lifestyle that can be uprooted at any moment that you can't sustain on your own is irresponsible, not only for yourself, but for your children. Why would you put y'all in that kind of risk? I mean, this man shouldn't be holding the key to your life, literally. So we move on and see Karen catching up with Mia. Karen calls Mia to see how things have been since the party that she was not invited to. And Mia is telling her how she had an allergic reaction to the chicken wings at the club. Apparently Mia has a gluten allergy. No, I think your ass was overloaded on chicken head behavior. Mia seemed to be allergic to everything but gossip and bullshit. So Mia's telling Karen how the conversation at the bachelorette party from Sharice was that when Karen is drunk, she will sleep with any peen walking. And all Karen wants to know is, and what did you say? Mia said, I just said, what did y'all say? No, girl, that ain't what you said. What you said was, so y'all saying Karen is a prostitute? Karen said, from what you're telling me, it doesn't sound like you defended me. And if the tables were turned and it was your name being thrown around in that kind of situation, I would have defended you. In other words, don't come over here bringing me a bone when you ain't had nothing to say when they brought the bone to you. While you coming over here to tell me what they had to say about me, tell me what you had to say when they had so much to say and why they were so comfortable having so much to say about me to you. Karen said, Mia is officially in timeout. I will be cordial with you, but I don't trust you. Go sit down over there. So we move on to see Robyn at home working on her hat line when her parents come over to visit. Yeah, you better get to pumping them out. You want to sell your story? Put it on a hat. Robyn is showing her parents around her house, showing them all of her renovations because apparently they haven't been over since she's done this work. You know, she don't mess with them too tough ones. She don't need them no more. Now, Robyn works my nerves, but her house is beautiful and her mom is looking around with that mama eye. Like she mad she left her white glove home. Yeah, let me check this out around here. Robyn sits her parents down to tell them that she and Juan have decided to move forward with their wedding. but not with inviting them. Robyn explains to her mom that she, Juan, and their kids are going to Jamaica for Juan's brother's wedding, and they decided that they're going to get married the next day. Her mama said, oh, okay, so you telling us so we can come? Robyn said, no. She said, what you mean, no? Robyn starts telling her mama some bullshit about she just wants to keep this small and intimate. I just want it to be Juan and me and the kids. Her mama said, and you can add me and your dad. She said, no, because if I add you and dad, then I have to start thinking about cousins and siblings and aunts and friends. And no, you don't, you full of shit. Robyn's mama is pissed off, all right? If those cameras were not there, Robyn was getting her ass cursed out. Now, Robyn daddy don't give a damn. All you telling me is I ain't got to get dressed up for some bullshit. Okay. Robyn at least knows it's wrong enough to ask her mom, well, are you mad? And her mom said, well, no, I'm not mad, but I don't agree with your decision. I do think we should be able to be there. And Robyn thinks a fair solution is to FaceTime them, girl. So we move on to see Mia and Gordon going to visit the doctor. She is going to get some results and answers in regard to the health issue that she's been dealing with. Well, while they're waiting on the doctor, Mia starts explaining to Gordon how she's concerned that they're mentioning that she may not have long to live. And Gordon politely reminds her that she is delusional and that that's how she interpreted what she heard, because that ain't what they told her. They explained to her that she has a condition called sarcoidosis, which can be a very serious condition, but luckily for her, it's not affecting any of her organs, so she's going to be just fine. Now, they showed the clips of her speculating that she had different forms of cancer and things like that. And while luckily it is not as serious as that, or as serious as this condition can be, it's not anything to be taken lightly. I do believe that this is the condition that Bernie Mac passed from, and it can be very, very serious when it affects other organs. But that's the bright spot for Mia, is that in her case, it's not affecting any of her organs. Now that we've been all up in Mia's doctor's appointment, we move on to Giselle, who is taking her girls out for ice cream, I think, and she's briefing them about her medical situation. She is educating and informing them about her situation with her fibroids, and that she is going to have a hysterectomy, and this turns into an impromptu anatomy session. The girls were just a little bit confused about what parts do what jobs and what functions would remain after Giselle gets a hysterectomy. Once they got over that little hump, they tried to offer their mother some encouragement. They said, well, at least you won't have to worry about menopause and hot flashes and needing fans at church and stuff. Giselle's girls are hilarious to me. So we move on and we see Karen reaching out to the other half of her dynamic duo of exile, Wendy. She's calling her to catch her up on the bone that Mia brought back to her from the bachelorette party. She said the accusations were so egregious she can't even repeat them, but she just needs to inform Wendy that she's done playing with Mia, because Mia didn't defend her. And Wendy comforts her with the Dr. Martin Luther King quote, "It is not always the voice of our enemies, but the silence of our friends that rings the deepest." I said, well, y'all better time this for Black History Month. So we move on to Candace's video premiere party, which I'm sorry, I was underwhelmed by. All the people are arriving. We see Giselle get there. Chris is leaning on the bar, and as Giselle comes in, she taps Chris and greets him. They say, hey, like this ain't been all season beef. So we see Giselle in the confessional explaining that she's not mad at Chris. And they show us a clip of Giselle and Candace having a conversation in Mexico about the whole Chris and Giselle issue. And Giselle is telling Candace that all Chris had to do was say, well, Giselle, if I did anything to make you uncomfortable, I apologize. And Candace responds by telling her, well, yeah, it would have been that simple if you had handled it differently. And Giselle agrees. She says that she feels like on that particular night, he just had poor judgment and he did something that she didn't like, which means that they should just have a conversation. Well, what a damn epiphany. After a season full of accusations, what a damn epiphany. After you done dragged this man's name to hell, all of a sudden, you have this gracious awareness that all it takes is a conversation. Girl, go to hell. Chris in the confessional said he stands by. He didn't say or do anything wrong, so he don't never need to see Giselle again. So we see Candace arrive at her event unceremoniously. She comes in and starts greeting and hugging people and then decides she would like to be announced. I said, wasn't the piss poor plan in hell? So Candace walks back outside and comes back in with her friend announcing her girl. Now, apparently this video premiere party is the first time Karen, Wendy, Mia, and Ashley are all seeing each other after Mexico. And they got to get Wendy up to speed on how her name is being dragged. So Ashley told Wendy that Mia told her that the reason Wendy been acting like a monster is because Wendy wanted her cookie. Wendy said, well, it was Mia that slid up to her and said that she wanted to be her cookie monster. Child, it's too much for me. Mia agrees that she did say that, and Wendy agrees that Mia wanted the Godiva goddess, and ain't nobody mad at nobody. Well, I ain't gonna be pissed off on your behalf. If y'all all right with all this freak nasty bullshit, I'll be damned if I'm gonna sit up and be mad for you. Wendy went so far as to say in the confessional that all Mia had to say is, can I touch it? And I would have thought about it. Well, if that's the cat you want to be in a back alley fighting, have at it. I'm moving on. I'll be damned if I'm going to sit up and be mad on your behalf. And you all right with you being dragged, played with, all kinds of stuff all over TV. That's your damn business. So they're at the point in the event where they're giving speeches and presentations and they're getting ready to show the video. Somebody from, I believe, the label that Candace is on comes up and tells her how proud they are of her. Candace starts giving her speech. She first gives honor to God, who is the head of her life, pastor, officers, members, and friends, followed by her family, to include her parents, who were the first to support her and encourage her to go after her dreams, her manager, and her man. Candace can be sickening sometimes, but I love her and Chris together. They are just adorable. We see the video. The visuals are really, really cute. Now, I'm not all that into the melody. The song isn't it for me, but congratulations, Candace. It does look like more of a production than her first video. And of course, Mia's old unaccomplished is in the audience pointing that out about this is a lot better than a parking lot. I'm sure that's what you said when Gordon got you home from the club too. Ashley and Karen are in the confessional saying that they're actually proud of Candace and her accomplishment. Mia is still throwing shade about the budget is no longer low. And Giselle is claiming she don't remember the damn song. You know what? After the video premiere, Robyn finally arrives, looking like a runaway bride. The dress she showed up in is what she should have worn to her bachelorette party. But apparently she crashed somebody else's bridal shower, looking like a bride. Robyn, stay out of place. You look a damn fool at your own bachelorette party and go to somebody else's dressed like a bride. So at this point, everybody has seen the video minus running from my truth, Robyn, but their appetite for entertainment has not been satisfied. So Giselle does what she does and starts some shit. So Giselle goes over to Karen and Ray and she brings up the gossip from the bachelorette party. Karen said, yeah, Mia already told me, but I told her I heard her, but I ain't listening. Giselle said, well, did she tell you this? Did she tell you she called you a prostitute? Now, Giselle, see how you carry shit? Because she didn't call her a prostitute. She asked, are y'all saying she's a prostitute? Now tell how all y'all was talking. Karen said, no, she missed that part. She never told me that. Giselle is in the confessional saying that she brought it up to Karen because she wanted Karen to know what was said. She wanted it to be clear and she wanted Mia to have an opportunity to explain why she said what she said about Karen. Well, let me ask you this. Since you are so concerned about transparency and clearing the air and making sure that storylines are properly projected, why didn't you feel the need to go drop unprovoked gems about what's going on and being said about Robyn? Y'all are co-conspirators in keeping her secret, but you just felt compelled to repeat anything anybody else said and make sure that the air stays clear. But with Robyn, we gonna keep it real smoggy. Go to hell. And Giselle says part of the reason she wants Mia to clear the air is because she was talking, but she was just being messy. So you just say a whole bunch of unfounded bullshit for the sake of entertainment, and nobody is giving their real story. We just making up shit and seeing what sticks. So they bring Mia in to clear her name. Mia said, well, listen, I didn't say she was a prostitute. I said based on y'all saying that she'll screw anything that walks and she's going to hotels and all kinds of things that sounds like a prostitute to me. That's what I had said. Mia said, that ain't on me. That's on Charisse. Karen starts explaining to them that God is good. I never had to sell the cookies in my cookie jar. But should I ever get to that point, I'll be sure to let you know first. So here comes Ashley Darby, the Real Housewives reporter. But Karen, the reason it gives us a cause for pause is because it's coming from someone who has mutual friends with you and is in the same community. Karen said, I am a mother, a member of the community, and the ambassador to Surrey County. I don't have to respond to these kinds of things. Ashley said what it comes down to is if Karen is doing something, she's not doing a good job of hiding it. She should either dispel it and put it to rest or just own it and say, yes, Ray and I have an open marriage. I know you lying. You've been in an open marriage and denial since the day we met you. And you feel like Karen needs to live in her truth. These are the Real Housewives of delusion. Karen is saying how she's not even going to address this. This is stupid when Charisse finds her way to the circle. I think it was Giselle that said, since you're talking about Charisse, here she is. Charisse said, oh, you're talking about me? Karen said, ain't nobody talking about you. I don't even know why you over here breathing my airspace. I don't know why you're here. Charisse launches into her, I haven't lied about anything I said. Karen said, I hear you, but I ain't listening, so we done, and walks off. Charisse is carrying on about you don't want to talk about your truth. You just want to be fake and phony, and you just want to be in the mix. I do not understand why, as a grown woman, when someone has expressed in every possible way that I don't want to be bothered with you, I don't want nothing to do with you, I'm not trying to be friends with you, why do you keep going out of your way to run this person down about, I know all your secrets, I know your truth, I was at your mama's funeral? What in the attention-seeking hell? If Charisse is supposed to be the real grand dame of Potomac, I can't tell. Royalty doesn't seek validation from outside sources, okay? I don't need you to acknowledge me for me to be who I am to this circle. The way that Charisse seems to need Karen's acknowledgement tips to Karen being that girl. Why do you want to be acknowledged by her so bad? I do not understand. If I'm the grand dame, if this is the table that I set and you are sitting at my table by my invitation, baby, I'm not about to be around here begging you to acknowledge and validate me. It don't work like that. This is not grand dame behavior. It also kills me how Charisse is so inclined to share so much about what she knows about Karen's truth, but when it was her and her husband, it was mom's the word. She had nothing to say and everything was a secret, and she was pretending like this man wasn't divorcing her, all the while getting dragged to court. So why she is a knee-deep in Karen's business when she pulled a Robyn about her own marriage is beyond me. Mind your business. So then we see Mia pull Karen aside for part 2 of the bullshit. She pulls Karen aside to tell her that there's a rumor going around that Karen is dating some restaurant owner's best friend. She flew to Vegas with him. They had sex in the bathroom. And to me, it sounds like Mia took all the gossip she heard at the bachelorette party and put a whole story together. Mia is sick. Karen shut Mia down. She said, look here, I'm not about to get all defensive about some man I don't know. And I'm a bad bitch for 59. So if it's some young man running around saying he's doing me, then girl, have at it. Now see, I got a man that loves and trusts me. So I'm hearing you, but I ain't listening. Girl, Karen is from the era of the original. Hello, Barbara, this is Shirley. You're gonna have to miss her with the bullshit. Mia is insisting that the reason she's telling Karen this is because you're trying to make it like Charisse is lying on you, when the truth is I've heard this from other people. Girl, Mia is a hooker from hell that's trying to prove that everybody else is a hooker too. I cannot deal with her. Karen gathered her man and left. She said in the confessional, she had her people reach out to the people who owned this restaurant, and they don't know Mia. Mia ain't never been there, so Mia's a damn lie. Robyn got the nerve to be in the confessional saying, there's a pattern here. Karen is always storming off, especially when she doesn't want Ray to hear what's really going on. I know you's a damn lie. I know you's a damn lie when you got a pattern of hiding your life from the whole show that you get paid to show your life on. I know you lying. You want to talk about hiding dirty deeds? When you participated in this whole back and forth storyline about whether this is true about Chris or not, when you know what's true about Juan, girl, go to hell. So then we also see the ladies approach Candace. Giselle is saying to Candace that she wanted to have a conversation with Chris because apparently Candace communicated to Giselle that Chris was open to a conversation. Candace said, well, yeah, he's willing to have a conversation with you, but I don't think he's willing to have a conversation with you here and now. You ever heard of time and place? Giselle is apparently sitting around waiting on Chris's attention. She's carrying on about how she's been there for hours. It's been hours, and he's not spoken to her yet. Ashley wants to know if she's in timeout. Why can't she go speak to Chris? Robyn said, well, I don't think it's that important to him to talk to y'all. Ashley said, well, I get that, and that's fair. But, I mean, you're also not going to threaten me on Twitter and not say it to my face. Girl, your husband is cheating on you all over Twitter and won't say it to your face. But you worried about Candace's husband? Girl. Just then, Candace joins the group. She's telling the ladies how she loves them all despite their differences. They take a shot together, and Ashley cannot help herself. She said, so, listen, I've been wanting to talk to your husband. Candace said, well, I don't think he's going to be open to talking today. Not at my damn party. Ashley just keeps pushing. Well, who said I was going to be hostile or confrontational? Girl, no means no. So Ashley decides, your event, I'm going to go ahead and pick a fight with you. Regardless of whether his actions were innocuous or not, they were perceived this way. Candace said, by your friend that looks like somebody off of Sesame Street. Candace said it's giving no, that didn't happen. And Ashley just decides mid-conversation, I'm grown, I can do what I want, walks off and walks right up to Chris. To hell with your consent and your boundaries. I'm going to start a fight with your man at your party. Girl. So when Ashley approaches Chris, she brings up that she feels like his tweets were directed at her, specifically a tweet that said, anybody who lies on him, he promises will be sorry. Chris said, well, to suggest that I would do something inappropriate is fucked up. So yeah, I was pissed off and I meant it when I said, if you're going to lie on me, I promise I will make you sorry because I'm going to do something about it. I'm not going to let you just run around and lie on me. That's not okay. Now, of course, as he's saying this, he's getting more and more pissed off. So Ashley starts trying to tell Chris that some of his actions were just a little questionable. Chris about lost it. Chris the man and I get Chris being pissed off for a whole lot of reasons. First of all, you got 99 problems and a faithful husband ain't one. Ain't gonna be over here questioning me. I don't know who this F was supposed to be with her line of questioning. Furthermore, this child here lying on me. And you think you're gonna turn around and make me answer to some shit you made up? Chris goes stomping out pissed off. Candace is going behind him just trying to mitigate the damage. Just please don't cut up in here. I done paid too much for all this shit today. Ashley is standing around playing dumb. What did I say? You said anything when you shouldn't have said, mind your business. Wendy said, did you think that was going to go well? Ashley said, we're adults. You're an adult that's lying on him. You are accusing this man of stuff that can cost him his marriage, his livelihood, his reputation. Girl. Candace said in the confessional that she has given up hope on she and Ashley ever having any semblance of a friendship. She said the charmed life that she has had is one that Ashley could only have dreamed of in her ashy life. And she's explaining to Chris that you cannot win a fight against people who are perpetually damaged and unhappy. People like Ashley, their misery is their personality. She is steeped in it. She lives in it. It drives everything that she is and does. You can't even fight that. You just got to let her be miserable. That brings us to the end of the episode where we see the wrap up and update for everyone. We see that Ashley has moved into the house that she cannot afford. And she did have a boyfriend from another Bravo show, but that ended already. Candace is going on a 5-city tour for her album, and Chris just might be able to tag along since he's no longer working at the hotel. Now, I want to know at this reunion if this has anything to do with all these accusations. Karen is also going on tour. She is taking that bait and switch bootleg show she got on a 5-city tour her damn self. Giselle had her hysterectomy, made a full recovery, and is back to her cougar life. She is apparently dating some much younger man from another Bravo show as well, child. Y'all don't mind fraternizing around there. Wendy is kickboxing and drinking water, girl. They said Mia's health is stable, but her finances are not. She and Gordon have been ousted from several of their franchises and the home that they were living in Potomac, child. Girl. Then we see Robyn and this ridiculous story. Robyn apparently never finished the prenup discussion, so I guess that was a lie in the confessional too. This is just lies. I mean, just the story just changes up and down and round, and we just supposed to act like it makes sense. But she and Juan never actually finished the prenup, I guess, or decided to overlook certain things in the prenup, but went ahead and got married. But they didn't get married piggybacking on the brother-in-law's wedding like they were supposed to. They apparently went to Jamaica for the wedding, got up the next day and said, this doesn't feel right. They apparently decided to come back home and actually have a small wedding and invite Robyn's parents as witnesses to this bullshit. Now, they all looked beautiful. Robyn is a beautiful woman. She looked very nice, but I'm sorry, they's a well-dressed mess. I cannot with them. And at the end of this bullshit ceremony, she has the nerve to say to all the haters, you can talk, but you're wasting your time because I don't care. And they're walking up this boardwalk and she gonna flip us the bird and tell us to kiss her behind. Well, aren't you the fool since his side chick came out all over the internet streets? Now that leads us into the face-off that is Watch What Happens Live. So Andy starts this whole conversation with Robyn by saying, look, we had originally booked you for tonight to celebrate your wedding, but there are bigger fish to fry. So he said, you said on your podcast that you knew about the situation ahead of filming for season 7 and that it had been handled. Now you said that Juan and this woman didn't date, but how do you explain this woman having a hotel receipt with Juan's name on it? So Robyn starts the bullshit immediately. She starts giving us this bullshit lie. So Robyn starts to lie out by explaining she doesn't want to give this woman this kind of attention. But the woman is from Canada, and this all happened during lockdown when Canada had a very strict lockdown going on. Now, what that has to do with anything is beyond me. I don't know. She goes on to say the woman told Juan that she was coming to Maryland for whatever reason. Well, hold on. Here's my first side eye. What is the nature of her relationship, friendship, communication with Juan? Why do they have a friendship to the degree that she is sharing her travel plans and who she's dating? Like, what is the nature of their relationship that they're even having this discussion? What is the foundation of their conversation? Why is y'all talking? Robyn says, so yeah, she's telling him that, she's going to fly to Maryland. And he's like, okay, whatever. No, it ain't okay, whatever. It's okay. Why is she telling you? She says the lady gets to Maryland. She's reaching out to Juan, telling him that she lost her wallet in the casino and she can't pay for her hotel room. This is a lie from the pits of hell. You mean to tell me this woman flew here dating a Baltimore Ravens player and did not have accommodations already paid for? That's number one. Number two, when she gets here, loses her wallet and needs someone to pay for her accommodations, she doesn't reach out to the Baltimore Ravens player that she's here to see. She reaches out to Juan. So Juan is Captain Save-A-Ho now. Okay. So apparently Juan, being the good Samaritan that he is, just felt so bad for this woman that he decided to go up to the hotel, drop his credit card on the counter and walk off. So he doesn't try to get in touch with the Baltimore Ravens player that she's there to see. He doesn't try to get in touch with you and tell you, hey, there's a random woman that happens to be here from a whole nother country that, is reaching out to me to tell me that she lost her wallet and she needs a room, and so I'm going to go do this charity. He didn't tell you that. Okay, girl. Andy said, so that was the only time they met in person? She said, yes. Andy said this could sound like BS to a lot of people. And Robyn agrees. Yeah, I mean, it sounded like BS to me at first. But based on what he told her and based on what she revealed last week, she believes Juan. Andy says, so you're on a reality show about your life. And infidelity has been the hot topic of the season. And you have been a part of that hot topic conversation. So how do you participate in the conversation about everybody else and then remain silent about you? Robyn said it was just so in the back of her mind. They had already dealt with it and moved on from it. So, I don't get why I would say, hey guys, pick me. Let's talk about my stuff. Well, you mean to tell me your soon-to-be husband and the father of your children is running around with some from Canada, paying for hotel rooms and shit, running some side chick charity, and that's at the back of your mind, but a picture of Karen from the back is at the front of your mind? You're going to have to go to the back of hell. Andy said, no, but you're on a show that's about your life. So it's not about pick me and waiting to be picked. It's about being forthcoming and sharing that, hey, this is what we were dealing with. So Robyn is playing dumb about, well, it wasn't an issue while we were filming. If it had been an issue while we were filming, that would be different. Andy said, but it had been an issue, period. Karen and Blue Eyes wasn't an issue during filming. So what the Chris and Giselle wasn't an issue that happened during filming, but y'all made it the storyline of the entire season. So Andy brought up to her that one of the biggest criticisms that they've heard is that she would sit and withhold the truth on the show and then sell the truth behind a paywall on Patreon. Robyn never really answers the question. She just said, well, I talked about it on the free podcast. And then she said she wasn't withholding information. It's just that this didn't come up in the blogs until last week. So that's when she decided to share. Andy said, well, that sounds like withholding information to me. And he reaches over to Ebony and says, Attorney Ebony Williams, what do you say? Well, Ebony been on a Bravo train for a minute. So Ebony ain't the one to ask. I don't know if Ebony is there as a guest or on retainer for Robyn, because she was not helping Andy at all. Ebony said, I don't give a damn. I'm a podcaster myself. I'm about the paper, so I'm here for the paywall. I don't care nothing about what story she robbed y'all of shit. Ebony came from Real Housewives in New York. So, she know they'll docked up a storyline to protect people so y'all can go to hell. Since y'all want to play, somebody done beat y'all at y'all game. That's what Ebony is giving. So Andy brings up to Robyn the fact that she left the infidelity clause out of the prenup. He asked what happened with that. And she explains that they just decided it might be more damaging than helpful. She feels like it might actually work against her at some point in the future, because she's the one that makes the most money now, and Juan might be setting her up. So she's scared that if she should be the one to step out in the future, that it's going to cost her. So they went ahead and just threw that on out. Andy reads to Robyn a tweet from Candace's husband, Chris, where he says that he's basically disgusted primarily with Ashley and Giselle because they knew about what was going on with Robyn since before filming started, and they chose to lie on him as a distraction. So he's pissed off. Well, Robyn said Ashley ain't got nothing to do with that. Ashley wasn't in the mix. She said in terms of Giselle, her and Giselle are really, really good friends, and that's just what they do. She would expect Wendy to cover for Candace and vice versa, and so there's nothing wrong with Giselle keeping her secret and starting some other shit. Robyn said, why would Giselle have to bring it up on camera when she and I had already talked about it off camera before filming started? Andy said because she had no problem bringing up anybody else's stuff. So Andy brought up that Robyn used Karen's skeletons as justification for dragging Karen, knowing that she had skeletons in her own closet. And Robyn's only response is, well, we all have skeletons, girl. Andy said, but you basically laughed it off and pretended that this was ridiculous and impossible. And she said, no, I never said that. But when Karen was saying that he had a girlfriend who was blonde in Georgetown that looked like her, that was ridiculous. Girl, just at this point, Robyn ain't gonna own shit. And Robyn is not going to be made to own shit. Robyn is allowed to do anything she wants to do to anybody she wants to do it to, and there is no accountability, and I cannot deal. Andy asked Robyn what she would say to the other housewives who feel like they bring all of their lives to the show and she's hiding hers. She said she doesn't feel like anybody brings all of their personal lives to the show. Like Karen, for example, has Karen really shown us everything that's going on? Like, and she doesn't expect people to just tell on themselves when it's that damning. Listen, I get that y'all have a line of discretion where there are some things you choose not to share, but you don't sign up to be on a reality TV show that is about your life and then say, but my life is off limits. It doesn't work like that. The entire premise of the Real Housewives from the very, very beginning was about getting behind the closed doors of the women who live behind the gates. That was the point. Not to see them in thick wigs and knockoff designer duds telling us that their life is a secret. That's not what this is supposed to be. And Andy wraps up his line of questioning with asking, what do you say to the people who say that the story that your man is telling you is a crock of shit? She said that, we've talked about it a lot and I believe what he told me. In other words, so long as I got a man in my house and a peen in my bed, I don't give a damn what's going on. Ebony gives her 2 cents by explaining that she feels like the expectation of full disclosure is personal. Each person determines what they think full disclosure is. And if your full disclosure is more than somebody else's full disclosure, you don't get to project what your definition of full disclosure is onto your castmates. But it don't, girl, I really get that Ebony's intention was to support her sister. I get that. But Robyn is full of shit. And I cannot. Robyn has done entirely too much this season in terms of lying, hiding, trying to make any and everybody else the villain when she married the real villain. For Robyn to sit up there just as smug as she wants to be is insulting. They're not about to play in my face. Until they either recast this or represent this as a scripted drama, I cannot take this serious. I'm over this. I'm done. Child, that's it. That's all, and I ain't got no more. Thank you so much for coming down here, listening to me, and letting me get this off my chest. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, I love you and I mean it. Bye.